Your best ideas don't come when you focus. They come when you stop. Here's the experiment that proved it. You've felt it before. The answer you chased all afternoon shows up the second you stop chasing it. In the shower, on a walk, halfway through the dishes. We treat those moments like accidents. They aren't. They're one specific brain network doing exactly what it was built to do. And in 2012, a lab put a number on it. Think about where your last good idea actually arrived. Almost nobody says, "at my desk grinding away." They say the shower, or the drive home, or the moment right before sleep. For a long time, we filed that under luck or inspiration and left it there. Then brain scanners caught it happening. When you stop working on something, your brain doesn't go quiet. It switches into a different mode, a whole network that lights up the moment you stop paying attention to the outside world. Neuroscientists gave it a flat, unglamorous name, the default mode network. It is the engine behind every shower thought you have ever had. Here are 5 places it ambushes you. Then, the experiment that proves it is real. Sign 1. The shower. Warm water, no phone, nothing to decide. Your hands know the routine, so your attention has nowhere to be. That is the exact condition your default mode network waits for. An undemanding task that keeps your body busy and your mind loose. The moment your focus drops, the network starts doing something focus never allows. It wanders. It pulls up a problem you had shelved, drifts to something unrelated, and quietly sets the two side by side. You are not trying to solve anything. That is the whole point. The idea that surfaces feels like it came from nowhere, because the part of you that takes the credit was never in the room. Sign 2. The walk. Stanford researchers Marilee Opezzo and Daniel Schwartz tested this directly in 2014. They had people invent creative ideas while sitting, then while walking. Walking lifted their divergent thinking by an average of 60%. Not because walking is exercise, because a familiar walk is the same trap as the shower. Your legs handle the route and your attention comes loose. Steve Jobs held meetings on foot. Charles Darwin wore a path into a gravel loop he circled whenever he was stuck. Neither man knew the mechanism. They just knew the road did something a chair could not. Sign 3. The dishes, folding laundry, mowing the lawn. Repetitive chores get written off as dead time. For your default mode network, they are prime real estate, just demanding enough to keep you awake and just dull enough to set your mind free. There is a catch buried in the research, and it changes how you should use every one of these moments. The wandering only helps with a problem you were already working on. A blank, fresh problem gets nothing. So the dishes will not hand you an idea out of thin air. They will hand you the answer to the thing you got stuck on this morning, but only if you loaded the question first. Sign 4. The commute you have driven 1,000 times. You pull into the driveway and cannot remember a single turn. People find that unsettling. It is actually your brain running clean. The route is so overlearned that it needs almost no conscious attention, so attention turns inward and the network takes the wheel. This is also why a brand new route gives you nothing. Drive somewhere unfamiliar, and every intersection demands focus, and focus is the off switch for the default mode. The same 15 minutes that incubate ideas on your usual road leave you blank on a strange one. Boredom, it turns out, is doing real work. Sign 5. The minutes before you fall asleep. That drifting, half-dreaming state has a name, hypnagogia, and it is when the network runs loosest of all. Thomas Edison worked it on purpose. He would nap in a chair, holding steel balls over a metal pan. As he sank towards sleep, his hand relaxed, the balls clattered down, and he jolted awake clutching whatever loose idea had floated up. In 2021, a Paris sleep lab rebuilt Edison's trick under controlled conditions. People who were caught at that exact threshold solved a hidden pattern far more often than people who stayed fully awake. The doorway to sleep is real, and your brain props it open every night. So is any of this provable, or is it just a tidy story? In 2012, a team at the University of California, Santa Barbara, led by Benjamin Baird in Jonathan Schooler's lab, set out to settle it. They published the result in Psychological Science. They gave 145 people a creativity test. Name as many unusual uses for an everyday object as you can. Then, they split everyone into 4 groups and handed each one a 12-minute break. One group worked a demanding memory task, one did an easy task, one simply rested, and one got no break at all. After the break, every person went back to the creativity problems they had already seen. Only one group improved. The people who had done the easy task, the ones whose minds were left free to wander, came back about 40% more creative on the problems they had been stuck on. The demanding task group, the rest group, and the no-break group showed no gain at all. 2 details matter more than that headline number. First, the boost appeared only on old problems, the ones already loaded in the mind. Genuinely new problems got nothing from the break. Second, the improvement tracked how far people's minds had wandered, not how hard they had tried to think. The mind delivered exactly when it stopped working for it. That is the default mode network, measured, which sounds like a pure gift until you meet the other face of it. The same network that hands you an idea in the shower is the one that, left running, replays your worst moment at 3 in the morning. Neuroscientists who study depression call the default mode network the dark matter of clinical neuroscience. In a depressed brain, it runs too hot and too long, looping the same self-focused thoughts until they wear a groove. The wandering mind and the ruminating mind are the same machine. The only difference is direction. You cannot switch the network off, and you would not want to. What you can do is aim it. Stop grinding. Pick up something easy. Let it drift toward the problem instead of toward yourself. That one network is the engine behind your sharpest thinking and your darkest spirals. Next time, the opposite question. Why your brain sometimes refuses to let a thought go at all. Subscribe, and I will see you there.